And that's how the theme song goes. Welcome back to Constitutionals Podcast. I'm your host, Chad White, and if you didn't know, this is a premiere podcast for the website, cpluscomedy.com. Like I said, it's a website. Go there. What if most of this episode was just me making that noise the entire time? Anyway, like I said, this is the Constitutionals Podcast. We're about 44 episodes in. Holy crap. In 8 weeks? Am I doing the math right? 6 plus 2? Yes. In 8 weeks, this podcast will be a year old. Insane. I thought, for real, I thought I was going to, and I don't use the word legit. I thought I was going to drop out by episode, 4 was the dating show. So, and 3 was wedding stuff. I thought I was going to drop out by 3 at least. I don't know. There was no structure to this. To this when it started, and then cut to almost a year later. Smash cut to. I've been writing a lot of scripts, guys. Smash cut to 3 years later, a year later. Oh, I can't even count. Smash cut to a year later, and this show is still going. I'm very happy that I have the tenacity. Well, the thing is, I've always been like this. I don't know why. When I was younger, I'm 25, almost 25. When I was younger, I played football. In high school, I wasn't the best, and honestly, I barely played on Friday nights. But you know what? I still continued 4 years straight, in freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, senior year. Can't say the same thing for track. I think I ran track. Most of middle school, and then I skipped 2 years when I was a senior, as did a lot of people because we were not fans of the track coach. But a lot of us were not fans of the track coach. But you know what? We did it for a good few years, and it was great. It was good. It was good to be a double athlete. Is that the term I'm talking about? A double athlete. I did a two-sport athlete. I also tried out for tennis. I didn't make it, but a lot of my friends were on that team. Well, actually, no, it was like 3 or 4 people I know that team. But they did say I did say I want to be a coach of that. So I showed up to a lot of their matches. Some would say too many, and I put on a hat and I pretended to be a coach. It's so stupid. Shout out to Scott and Kevin and Matt Johnson. I haven't seen a lot of those. It doesn't matter. None of this matters. I haven't seen a lot of those guys in a long time. I miss them. And my friends, if you're listening, I know you're not because there's only 19 subscribers. Then you come on down. We can hang out sometime. Everybody's leading busy lives. I'm working a part-time job, doing nothing except writing in my spare time. I don't even have the energy to play video games. When I get home from working at a job where I get paid $8 an hour, I get paid $8 an hour to wash dogs and or clean a store, and then but that's like 9 hours a day that I come home and I'm pooped, and I can barely write stuff. But you got to keep going, and that's what I'm tying it back to. Oh Jesus! Almost knocked on my phone. I'm tying it back to the football mentality. I never stop. That's why I keep doing this show. I never stop. One day it's gonna all pay off. Who knows? Who knows when? God, I hope soon, because I don't know if I can take much more of this. All right. Anyway, let's get on to the show. Last week, I went to Lana Del Rey last Monday. Around this time I'm recording this, I was there, and then a few days later, that was great. It was fun. I recounted that on that podcast because I did it. If you listen to this, I know you don't. I know you've heard that I talked about Lana Del Rey last week. The episode was entitled Lana Del Rey, episode 43 of the Constitutionals Podcast. Now, the thing you're listening to now, a couple of days later, that following Thursday, I went to Athens, Georgia. I drove an hour, I'd say about almost 2 hours in traffic because I left at like 5 o'clock. But I drove to Athens, Georgia, to go watch Run the Jewels, Killer Mike LP, and they were at the Georgia Theater. I'll tell you about my trip down there. I had to get something notarized for another job, a serving position. I had to go to get a pouring permit. I had to notarize something at the UPS store. Anyway, none of that matters. None of this matters. Who cares? I left about an hour later than I needed to. I got there and I met some friends at their apartment, and they lived in the heart of downtown. We walked maybe 2 blocks and we were already there. They have a nice apartment complex. So we walked down there. We went to have dinner. And then one of the friends dipped, and then me and the other guy, we just went to this bar to play pool. At 9 o'clock, we were still in the middle of the pool game. That's when the show started. I said, "Oh, you know what? Rap shows always start late." So I walk up there at 9:04. I get there like 9:07. It's 3 blocks away. That's how great it is. I walk in. They are just starting to play. They're like 7 minutes late. They're just starting to play, which is fantastic. I usually when I go to movies, I like to show up late because I don't want to watch the trailers because I've already seen all the trailers. So I like to show up right when the movie starts. Usually like when I'm not working, and I haven't seen a movie in a couple of months because I'm always working, but when I'm not working and I go see a movie, and I do it right, I show up on time, like at the last second of the last trailer. But usually for the past few months when I wasn't working so much and I did it wrong, I would show up and the movie would already be like 5 or 10 minutes in, and I miss substantial chunks. But you know what? It's fun because I want to pick a seat last. I don't want to sit near people. I just want to sit. I want to sit in the aisle, and I want to watch the screen, and I don't want people walking next to me or talking or anything or looking at their phones. I just want to. Hell, I'll sit in the front row. Hell is not a cuss word. I can say hell on this podcast. If you know this, I'm trying to keep this cast clean. I do like to curse. I like to have my fair share of saying the F's and the S's and the D's and the B's and stuff. But you know what? I want to keep this clean. And hell is not a cuss word. Anyway, I like to sit in the front row. I like to watch the show and and then I like to get up and leave right when the credits start rolling. Or sometimes I like to wait till the end of the credits so I don't have to deal with anybody. But then you got the movie theater people are just waiting in the back. They can't clean until you're out of there. It's just so weird. That's why I like to go to movies alone. I don't have to look at anybody. I don't have to talk to anybody. So anyway, I show up late to this concert. 9:07, they start playing on the dot. It was wonderful. But the bad thing is, Georgia Theater is a standing theater. So once I got there, I was in the back with a bunch of people who were also late. So I got there. I was standing in the back. I'm looking around. There 3 or 4 songs go by, and I go, I gotta find a new spot to stand because all the tall people are back there. Thank God. Well, not all of them. A lot of them were where. But second place, I moved. Anyway, I moved, and I went behind this fat guy, and he was so fat, I was being pushed into him, and at some point I got stuck. I got stuck on him, and he was right next to his friend who had a girlfriend with her. And she was dancing. Let me say something. There are two concerts in a row now at Lana Del Rey and at this Run the Jewels concert. These white women are dancing a song to music that is not meant to be danced to. Lana Del Rey, this girl was swinging wildly out of beat to one of to Lana's songs. And actually, not even one. I'll say most of Lana's songs. And I wish I could show you right now. She was doing the twist, but it was at 30% speed, and it again still not on beat, even though Lana's songs are very slow. Same thing with Run the Jewels. This girl was dancing wildly, erratically, some might say, and shaking everything. And this guy, he was having the time of his life. So I decided to move about 5 people down because I saw an opening. This girl went to go get a drink, and I said, "That's my time to shine." I swooped in and I stole her spot. And I didn't steal it from her. She left with somebody else. So I decided to go in there. And right behind another guy and his girlfriend. I should have gone to this show with somebody instead of being a weird, lonely man who drove an hour and a half to see 2 rappers that he probably would have seen with Lorde when they come in Atlanta again in April. So, which I will go see to that show. I will go see that show. I definitely will if I'm still in Atlanta. Hopefully I'm not. Hopefully I move to San Jose, California. We'll see though. Anyway, so I'm standing there, and again, another concert, another just puff of weed just coming up in the air. You can smell every single concert I've ever gone to. It's just, but this one, just like the Dave East one, it was acceptable. Even the rappers on stage partook. Actually, I think just Killer Mike partook at the end. At the end there, he didn't do it during the show. or before the show because I guess he was on some type of diet or something. And then at 9:30, at 10 o'clock, he said, I'm finally able to smoke and eat all the food I want. And so he did that on stage. It was great. And yeah, and then that was it. And then all right, so the thing is, they ended at, I would say, about 10:15, not even 10:30. They ended at 10:15. They said, this is the last song. And then they did it. And then between songs, I would say this, Killer Mike and LP both gave inspirational speeches about being nice to each other and promoting black culture. And it was amazing. It was great. I love them both. At the end, Killer Mike gave the longest speech in the world about starting his own continent called New Africa, the New Republic of Africa. And that was it. And so they ended the show. We had a good time. But that 10:15, so they ended at 10:15, and I thought that is the shortest concert I have ever been to. I'm very happy I came, but I could have sold the ticket, my $15 ticket. I could have sold it for at least $200 and made money rather than spend the $60 it took me to get down there. For food, for gas. Actually, no, I did one tank of gas, so I think that's 20, and then the food was, I don't know, 30. And then the ticket, of course, was 15 plus tax, so it's 19. So, yeah, I'd say about $60. So instead of spending the $60, I could have made back the 19 I spent plus 180 more. But anyway, it's all about the experience. And that's why I did it. I got there and I left and I was walking back. My friend was still at the bar. That's how short the concert was. I went back to the bar, played pool again, but I was walking back from the Georgia Theater to the bar, and I thought, this is a good experience for the podcast. This is why I did it. I didn't do it just to say I did it. I did it because I wanted something to talk about. All the constitutionals. No, I'm kidding. But no, that's partially true. I did it because I had a good time. I knew I was going to have a good time. I knew I wanted to go back to Athens and see another person. Last time I was in Athens and I saw, not the last time I was in Athens, but the first time I was in Athens, at my first year of college, my freshman year of college back in 2011, I saw Donald Glover, who was still the Childish Gambino. I don't know if he still does that. I know he said he wanted to retire that, and I don't listen to him anymore because I'm not a teen white woman. So even though I act like one, even though I love brunch. Anyway, moving on. I was going to talk about Easy and High Maintenance. High Maintenance is back. Of course, I've already talked about that. And Easy is great. That's Joe Swanberg's Netflix show. I love them both. High Maintenance is on HBO. It was on Vimeo as a short series, but now HBO has the rights to the shorts as a web series as well as the regular TV show they just started doing. I love anthology comedies are so great. And it's I didn't know I was going to be a sucker for anthologies. So I love Fargo. Fargo's fantastic. True Detective's really good as well. Both seasons. I'm not an idiot. I'm not a jerk. And so, yeah, who knew that it would transfer well to comedy? Same thing. I haven't seen Room 104, the Duplass Brothers show on HBO, but it's an anthology half hour, and I don't know if it's comedy. I think it might be a drama, but anyway, Easy and High Maintenance are wonderful, and I just want to continue lauding those shows because they're good at what they do. The High Maintenance really is able to tell a succinct short story in, the 11 minutes that it allots each character, as well as managing to tie them together in multiple stories throughout the season or series with the guy who's the drug dealer for everybody. And I even want to know, he's such a good person. I don't want to know anything about him. I know he used to be married. He's good friends with his ex-wife. He actually lives down the hall from his ex-wife, as you will see. I'm not ruining anything. If you wanted to watch the show, you're going to watch it. Anyway, you don't know anything else about him. He's just a really good guy who sells drugs. And then Easy is just able to characterize so many of its characters via dialogue, and they work so well together, and I love it. There's a lot of nudity in that show, and there's some nudity that you never expected to see. So anyway, I want to move on to subscription services. So what I do is I look through my account for my bills. I like to put my bills in a Google Doc, and then from that Google Doc, on that Google Doc, it just has the prices and the dates of when the bills are due, and what bills are inactive or active. So, like something as active right now is obviously Netflix and Hulu and Amazon, but something that's inactive would be Xbox Live, because I bought 6 months about a couple of weeks ago, so now I don't have to worry about that until the day before my birthday, which is amazing. So hopefully I get another. I get $60 so I can pay for a full year. But PSN is active, I guess, because for today, today's the last day it's active. So anyway, so everything's an active, and then I put whatever is active onto my calendar, my Google Calendar. I'm a Google boy. I've got a home over there. I've got my Nexus 6P sitting next to me, which is 3 years old at this point. And so I do it. So I do the whole calendar thing. So I know when everything's going to pop up. I have the bills pop up about a week or 4 days before they're due. So I have a chance to get money into the account. And it's whatever. So it's adult. Nope. All right. If you, it's gonna, if you hear an edit, it's because I cursed and I got way too into whatever I was saying before about it being adult stuff. So, oh my God. See, that's the trouble of running a clean show. But you know what? I just want to get it some ads. I just get it some ads. I want to get some ads, and and that's how you get ads. You gotta get, or getting people to listen to it. And do you curse in this? No, I don't. It's fine. Just like News Time. News Time, there's no curse words in that either. Well, there's limited curse words, unless I feel like the story needs it, but not often. It's not often that the story needs it. It used to be very, very blue over there, and now it's a tight knit show. Speaking of which, before I get back to whatever I was talking about, the calendar stuff. Last week for this week's episode of News Time, it meant to be an episode about the WGA Awards, the PGA Awards, the Directors Guild Awards, and the SAG Awards. It's supposed to be about all these guild awards. Turns out I forgot about that. I already planned it. I didn't have a lot of research. I had one thing for WGA, but forgot about it. Now I have to put that episode off for an entire year. And I already have next year's Super Bowl episode planned, but I have a lot of stuff for that episode. Wow. Oh my gosh. I can't wait for February 2019. But I have to put off that entire Guild Awards episode because I just forgot. And so that's why I wasn't so connected to this week's episode of News Time. So anyway, I put everything on calendar, and I was looking at my calendar, and I found that I have basically within the past 10 years, subscription services became this big culture because, people don't want to subscribe to TV. They don't want to subscribe to cable. They don't want to buy music anymore. They just want to they don't want to buy clothes anymore or go grocery shopping. Now they have you have Blue Apron that'll just send you the meal kits 4 times a week. You have, what's a closet one? I don't know. 5, 10, 1 trunk club. You got Trunk Club, that High Five. What is it? 5. They were advertising on Hollywood Handbook for the longest time, and then they stopped because Hollywood Handbook is just such a acquired taste. I love that show too. So tells you what you know about me. Anyway, so Trunk Club. You have there's an Audible commercial. I'm watching the Simpsons Audible commercial just came on. You got Audible subscribing. Well, you have to buy the audiobooks, whatever, but you still have to subscribe to get the audiobooks for a cheap price, and you get a free audiobook every month. You get a free credit to get a random any audiobook you want. And then you got Google Play Music, Apple Music, and Spotify. And then you got it's Netflix. I said earlier, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, Netflix, Hulu's live TV streaming service for $40, Sling TV for $30, PlayStation View. You have all these ways to do all these things. And I was looking at my amount of stuff, and it's getting it doesn't matter because no matter what, they want you to subscribe. They don't care as long as you subscribe. And by they, I mean the companies that have these things. They don't care if you watch Hulu or Amazon. Netflix doesn't care about that. They just care that you get in there and you're watching their stuff. And I noticed that, I was looking at the reason I'm talking about this is that this spurned discussion was because Microsoft now has another $10 out of me. I mean, they have, the $25 for the 3 months I got, and they gave me the extra 3 months for Xbox Live. But then they also started Game Pass, which was started, I think, like 4 months ago, where they give you 100 plus free games for $10 a month on top of Xbox Live Gold, which already gives you 4 to 5 games. Nope. Miscounting. Yeah, it gives you like 4 to 5 games every month. So, and Xbox Game Pass has Xbox 360 games, Xbox One games, some new, some like old and stuff, but a lot of it's new. A lot of it's like Gears of War 4. I wouldn't be playing that game. I would have bought it, but I wouldn't be playing that game right now had it not been for Game Pass. And it's $10 a month. And now they're going to put their first party games on that service, the first one starting with Sea of Thieves next month in March 20th, I believe. So it's crazy. And now, I mean, my subscription, I've had it since Christmas, because the beginning of December for Black Friday, they gave the deal of $1 for 1 month, and then my subscription lapsed at the beginning of January, and then they said $1 more for 1 more month, and I did it again, and then I just forgot about it. Admittedly, I forgot about it at early February, and it just renewed again on February 1st, and now I have now on the 26th it's going to end again, but then they're offering me 3 months. I'm pointing to my Xbox. They're offering me 3 months for $25, which is a good deal, which is the same deal for Xbox Live. It's crazy. I don't know, and it's ridiculous. I mean, you don't have to subscribe to these things, but they're just so. It's a good deal. I love a good deal. I can't forget about it. So, I guess I'm falling into the rhythm of someone I didn't want to be. I didn't want Game Pass, but now I have it, and I'm thinking, man, this is a pretty cool thing. And then, oh boy, and then I'm subscribing to 3 streaming networks. I got New York Times. I'm gonna scratch my beard right into the mic. Just gonna scratch it in there. I got New York Times. I got, let's see what else. I got Squarespace, which is for the website, which is the only one I really need. I got my gym membership. I got Adobe. I got PSN. I got Hulu. It's crazy. Pinecast for the podcast for this thing. Oh my gosh, it's insane how much money is being spent by me. Stitcher Premium, and I gotta use Stitcher Premium. I'm mostly using that for Teachers Lounge. If you haven't listened to Teachers Lounge, go listen to it. The first season's free on any podcast platform. Just go listen to it. It's so good. Google Play Music, but that also comes with YouTube Red, and I don't even use YouTube Red. I just don't want to look at ads before I look at YouTube stuff, and I just look at video game reviews or TED Talks. It's just so strange. And I mean, you don't have to subscribe to these things, but it's just this is what they want you to do. They want you to set it and forget it. That's the same thing that I guarantee is happening with MoviePass. That's why MoviePass is so successful, which is also, I didn't talk about this part during this week's news time, but I think this is why MoviePass is so successful, is because it's going to be successful. And I mean, I'm not going to sign up for it because I don't understand how it's going to work in the long run, even though they're trying to acquire movies and distribute them like their brother Netflix. But because Mitch Lowe was the CEO of Netflix before he left, CEO of content, I believe, or president of content, just like he was in Ted Sarandos's position before he left to start MoviePass. Anyway, no one cares about that stuff except for me and old execs. Anyway, and I know they're not listening to this. Anyway, please, if you're an old exec, please listen to this and give me a job. I will move to LA or New York, wherever you need me. I'll do it in a heartbeat. Not at my own expense. You might have to pay for a lot of stuff because, again, I make $8 an hour. Washing dogs. It's not fun. Okay. Anyway. So what was I talking about? Oh, so MoviePass is going to be it's going to be successful because they send you a debit card. You have the app on your phone, and it's $10 a month. You can see one movie a day, and they pay for the ticket. I mean, they're not really giving you an incentive to cancel it, even though if you cancel it, you can't sign back up for 9 months. That's crazy. So why go through the hassle? Why not just keep it? Why not spend $120 a year for seeing a movie a day for the price of $10 a month versus like someone like me paying $8 every time he goes to see a movie at his local Cineplex, not AMC, a locally owned Cineplex. Because I don't need lean back chairs. I don't need alcohol there. I don't need full meals. I just need a chair. I need a screen. And you know what? The place I go to was the third theater in the country to get a 4K screen. I know how I know is because I went to go see Monsters University with two of my bros. Two adult men, and the guy came out and he said he was just telling us about this 4K screen technology, and I the entire movie I kept thinking, oh, this looks good, but I don't know if I would have known the difference between a regular projector and a 4K screen. Oh my gosh, times we live in at Aurora Cineplex in Roswell, Georgia. Anyway, I'm just telling you, I don't know. Subscriptions are dangerous, and I think you should let me tell you how much money I'm spending per month, because I have the total down in my drive, and I'm not proud of it, but it's a dangerous thing. And I think I'm on the high end. Everybody else, there's a lot of people who are smarter than me. There's a lot of people who are smarter than me. Why? Where is this? I don't know where it is. It's under personal, of course. Oh, I should not be saying this out loud. Yeah, don't listen to what I just said. So, on top of my phone, that's $30 a month. And then I got my car. That's an untold amount of money. I'm not going to mention. That's a little too personal. I got Netflix, Hulu, Amazon. Is Amazon 15 or is it 11? Because they charged me 11, but they charged me 15 the month before. Maybe they're only charging me for 11 for February because it's Black History Month and it's shorter. Right on, Jeff Bezos. Anyway, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, Squarespace, New York Times, The Gym, Adobe, because I need stuff to edit, Google Play Music, Pinecast, and Stitcher. That stuff is used every single day, with the exception of Amazon. All of those are used every single day, and that's $136 I'm spending per month on subscription-based things I'm not paying for right now. Xbox Live, again, I have that until my birthday. PlayStation Network, that's just on and off sometimes. If I want to get the games that they offer with PlayStation Plus, I get it. Audible, Hulu with Live TV because I don't live my own yet. HBO Now because I don't live my own yet. Showtime because I don't live my own yet. Stars because I don't live my own yet. And Cinemax because I don't live my own yet. Those last four you can get with Amazon channels. So anyway, that's crazy. I'm spending $136 on subscription stuff. You know what? And I'm also still buying Blu-rays on and off here. I haven't bought a Blu-ray since, I think, Christmas? No, since after Christmas because they were still out of sales. But still. And I'm mostly watching Hulu. It's crazy. And I only watch Netflix when I want to watch like All Hail King Julian. I don't want to, or Cheers. And I'm barely watching Amazon. Last thing I watched was Killing Gunther. Squarespace. I barely write news stories every day, so I only use it when I have reviews. New York Times, I'm only reading certain things, and I'm only watching the docs, which you can get on YouTube later. But the magazine stuff, and it's just nice to support New York Times. I like them a lot. Gym, I use that every single day. Adobe, I use that pretty much almost every day. Oh, well, every couple of days. Google Play Music, I use that every single second. Pinecast, I'm using it once a week. Stitcher Premium, I'm using that basically almost every other day. It's crazy. It's insane. God, I'm basically justifying all of this. I don't know. There's people my age who are only paying, who are sharing passwords and stuff. I don't want to do that. I don't want people using my passwords. No, I work hard. And I want to enjoy myself. And that's the reason why I subscribe to all this stuff. I work hard. And even though I make $8 an hour, I still want to enjoy myself. If I can't go out and have fun, I want to stay in and have fun. Anyway, that's it. I'm done. That's all. That's the entire episode of the Constitutionals Podcast. Hey, if you like this, head to the website, cpluscomedy.com, where you got the latest news, reviews, features, interviews, and other good comedy bits that only I can provide you with. You can also follow us on Twitter, at C Plus Comedy. Follow me on Twitter. You can't see right now. I pointed at myself before I said follow us on Twitter. I'm jumping way too far ahead. Follow me on Twitter at Chad Black White. Like us on Facebook. Head to the webpage, youtube.com/C Plus Comedy to watch our premiere TV show. Or news show. I don't know why I say TV. Watch our premiere news show. It is called News Time. It's a weekly show. I do 52 episodes a year. Weekly show where I talk about stuff in the comedy world and comedy adjacent world. Sometimes I do talk about just straight up business stuff, like the Snapchat episode I did 2 weeks ago, or this MoviePass thing I did. I've done so many stories on MoviePass. People love MoviePass. It gets me clicks. So watch it. This week's episode is about MoviePass's latest moves, such as buying and acquiring and distributing movies, and then also the leading ladies of social sites. That's what it's called. But that's what the episode's called. But it's about the women, the famous women who have gained the most followers over the course of Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter over the past year, and how they did it, and why they did it. Not why they don't choose to do it, but how they did it. So go watch it. It's a good episode. It is not the Guild Awards episode I wanted it to be, but it's a good episode nonetheless. And nonetheless, it's a good episode. Go watch it. It's fun. All right, I'm gonna do some other stuff. Thank you for listening to the Constitutionals podcast. I love you so much. Bye.